So Liam, when I think of your name, synonymous with St. Pat's of winning leagues as a player, winning titles as a manager. This year's been very different. How's it been for you?
That's been difficult. Probably from the get-go. We were trying to get a settled team. We were trying to blood quite a few of the younger lads in, and we brought in a few players in the window, which we've done over the last 2 or 3 years. And it's been difficult to blood them all together and get a settled sort of team and a way we're playing. And it's been a struggle for most of the season, in fairness.
And in terms of, I think one year in my career where I was in a relegation battle, funny enough, with Pats my last year, it was a different type of season, different characteristics you need to get through it. Have you found it from a management perspective, it's been a different type of season for you, of how you've dealt with things?
Look, listen, there's a responsibility for me, having brought in all the players and staff and whatever. There's a responsibility for them to make sure we play as well as we possibly can do. We've ultimately underachieved, bearing in mind what we have. That said, there's a couple of games to go just to make sure we don't get relegated, so it's still in our hands. We're looking optimistically at the last couple of games, and if we can pick up our fair share of points there, we'll be okay.
You mentioned there, like, you've brought in a lot of young players and that. I suppose the deterioration aside, well, it wasn't too long ago you're winning titles. What would you put it down to in terms of the fall off? Young players, the loss of, I suppose, some key players in the middle of the park, and you brought in a lot of young players. Is it just been the lack of players leaving, or what would you put it down to overall?
There's probably quite a few different bits and pieces, but that certainly would be one. The continuity of your group on a reasonably regular basis. Like, we've lost quite a few players. I think of Greg Bulger winning leagues here. You can remember his goal down the far end here.
Forrester went across the water.
Forrester, James Chambers in the States. Killian Brennan left to go to Rovers for a period. You know, there's quite a list even up to last season where we're losing the likes of Sean Hoare and Jamie McGrath to Dundalk, and it doesn't help, that's for sure.
Like, when you actually put it out like that, it's a serious amount of players that have left in the last number of years, and probably top players as well. It's hard to replace them.
It is, yeah, absolutely. It is difficult. And apart from just replacing them, it's just blooding fellas in to try and play and getting a feel for how they're playing, etc., etc. That said, I'll be straight, I didn't see us down where we are at this minute in time at the start of the season. I want to say we do have underachieved, there's no two ways about it this season. That said, we have a couple of games just to make sure we don't get relegated and move on from there.
Cork finally got over the line this week. Does that have any bearing on how you go into the game with your guys? I suppose they've won the title now. Will they be off celebrating, and how will they turn up, or is that any factor for you?
Look, we touched on it the other day, and I'm touching on it again today with the guys training. Really, what Cork do is secondary to what we're going to try and do. We're going to try and win the game on its merits from there. We don't know what Cork team will come up, what way they come up. They've won the league, will they come up with the pressure off? Will you rest a few because we've got a cup final coming up? Have they any injuries? Whatever, I don't know. It really doesn't matter. We've got to make sure from our end of it, we've got a balanced team, we all know what we're at, and it's a determination and drive to make sure we give ourselves a chance of winning the game.
So 2 games left. Are you looking at the mathematical calculations, and if that happens, or is it just purely go out and win your 2 games and you're safe?
That's it. Yeah, win your 2 games and we know for sure we're safe. That said, we have looked at the table and all the different permutations and whatever. Really, you can't affect the other permutations. The only thing we can affect is ourselves. We've got Cork at home here and Derry away the following Friday. We've got to try and pick up 6 points. Limerick here a couple of weeks back probably deserve to win the game. They've scored, gone beyond injury time, you know, the kind of way. It's that said, it is what it is. We are where we are. We've got 2 games to go. Well, I think the dressing room is optimistic that hopefully we can get enough out of it.
I suppose you're looking for your big characters now. You mentioned Killian there. We covered a Bray game here, one of his first games back, and he was phenomenal that night. You ran the whole show. I suppose you're looking towards your big characters in the dressing room now for Friday night and getting everyone up for it. Yeah,
I think everybody's acutely aware of where we're at. You don't need to be a mathematician to work things out here. You know, we got to win matches. So, fellows like Killian, he's been fantastic. Owen Garvin, you know, we've got a lot of experienced guys. We've got some of the younger lads as well in the group. If you're coming off the bench, I expect you to make an impression. We've got 2 games left, and we're desperate to get our 6 points. So
Liam, last home game tomorrow night. I suppose when I played here and things were up, the fans got behind you. It was a great place for a home side to play. Just how important is it that the stadium and the local fans get behind the group?
Our fans have been fantastic this season, bearing in mind the way we've been on the pitch. I think they've been tremendous away from home as well, down in Galway. They were great last week. It is important. They are an important factor for us, especially when we were playing Rovers here a couple of weeks back. The place was buzzing. I'm hoping tomorrow night they're alive and kicking again, and it affects our players on the pitch, and we can go and give them the performance they deserve. And if we can go and pick up 3 points, it'll set us up nicely for the last game.
Full house, get everybody in, get behind the team.
I think there'll be a big crowd again tomorrow evening. I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully we get the result.
So you're confident?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm confident that we're going to acquit ourselves well. If we've played anywhere, like we popped Rovers here a couple of weeks back, 2-0, played quite well on the night. played quite well against Limerick. They're been lucky not to have won it. We've done okay. Down in Galway last week. In fairness to Galway, I thought they played okay. We were sort of middle of the road, but other than that, we have a meeting on 2 badly, so hopefully we'll do the business tomorrow evening.
Perfect. Listen, good luck.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks a million.
Speak to you.